A secret Pentagon document paints a bleak horizon. In a war for Taiwan, China wins. US carriers sink, jets fall, satellites go dark, outmatched not by brilliance, but by Beijing's sheer, relentless mass. Washington clings to costly weapons. China floods the fight with numbers. And Overmatch slips away. China would defeat the US military in a war over Taiwan. That is the stark conclusion of a top-secret Pentagon assessment. The grim assessment, revealed by the New York Times, confirmed the conclusions of previous war games, but it also exposed deeper flaws in US strategy and its continued reliance on outdated methods. According to the Times report, based on the obtained document assessment, a Biden-era national security official reviewing the document reportedly turned pale on realizing Beijing had redundancy after redundancy for every trick we had up our sleeve. US reliance on costly, sophisticated weapons leaves it exposed to China's ability to mass-produce cheaper systems in overwhelming numbers, the highly classified Overmatch brief warns. Losing Taiwan, the US's key bulwark against Chinese power in the Western Pacific, would deliver a severe strategic and symbolic blow to Washington. Ships like the $13 billion USS Gerald R. Ford, world's largest aircraft carrier, were often destroyed in scenarios gamed out for a US defense of Taiwan. Nevertheless, the Pentagon is planning to build 9 additional Ford-class aircraft carriers, while it has yet to deploy a single hypersonic missile. Eric Gomez, a research fellow at the Taiwan Security Monitor, told The Telegraph that the end result was unclear when he participated in a war game, but noted the US suffered heavy losses.
The US loses a lot of ships in the process. A lot of F-35s and other tactical aircraft in the theater are degraded pretty rapidly too. I think the high cost of it was really sobering when we did the after-action summaries, and we're like, okay, you guys lost 100 plus 5th generation aircraft, multiple destroyers, a couple of submarines, a couple of carriers. It's like, oh gosh, man, that was a heavy toll.
The Times added in its report that the Big Five defense companies, a number which has dwindled from 10 times that amount in the 1990s, continue to sell the US government costlier versions of the same ships, aircraft, and missiles. Meanwhile, Jake Sullivan, the former national security advisor, has warned the US would quickly run out of essential munitions like artillery shells in a war with China. Internal Pentagon assessments show China vastly outnumbers the US in its arsenal of almost all cruise and ballistic missiles. Moreover, China's state-sponsored hacking group, Typhoon, has installed malware on critical computer networks for power grids, communication systems, and water supplies for American military bases. With the US set to defend Taiwan, China could launch cyber attacks against American power and water networks. The Pentagon's secret Overmatch report was recently sent to the White House. It reportedly gave disturbing details of how China would be able to take out US ships, jets, and satellites. The security threat, which US officials have struggled to locate, could hamstring the military's ability to move weapons and forces if war breaks out in the Pacific. In the Trump administration's national security strategy, published last week, it said the island was important to the US economy because a third of global shipping passes through the South China Sea.
Given that 1/3 of global shipping passes through the South China Sea, there are major implications for the US economy. Hence, deterring conflict over Taiwan, ideally by preserving military overmatch, is a priority.
Xi Jinping has ordered the PLA to be prepared to seize Taiwan by 2027. Analysts cited by The Telegraph say Beijing could begin with a naval blockade, not an immediate invasion.